And here we are, starting with a good musical. In this journey to the Heaviside Layer, we are watching the greatest musical ever made by Andrew Lloyd Webber. Cats! Insert your jazz hands here. And before you say this is a bad movie, I will let you know that this is the second longest running Broadway show ever. Are you telling me that Broadway is bad now? How dare you? And you're telling me you don't love the opening song of this musical, Jellicle Cats? Because Jellicle Cats do what Jellicles do. A song that's just so upbeat and happy. It makes me feel so much better than the entire hour and a half plus that I spent last week watching Grease. Just look at this phenomenal CGI in this opening number. These cats bouncing around so gracefully as they change the tones of their beautiful singing, and the music cuts from one type of music to a completely other type of music. It's exactly like a cat's personality. It's genius, I'm telling you. It's genius! And right after we sing this song about Jellicle Cats, we get to meet the magical cat, Macavity. The evil villain is a cat played by Idris Elba, everybody's favorite actor. He's been in so many movies that everybody loves, like The Dark Tower, like Jungle Book, like Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. Idris Elba is good in everything and deserves everything that he gets, and he should be our next James Bond. Do it, you cowards! So, in what movie can you have cats sing the same 10-minute song in the beginning of a musical? And that song is actually good. I know we complained about the same thing in The Greatest Showman, but that's a bad musical that is only carried by the beauty and grace of the fantastic human being known as Zac Efron. But this musical is carried by the grace and poise and talent of its immense and star-studded cast. And then we move on to the official second song of the musical, Cats, where we get to see Rebel Wilson do a fantastic job of this rendition of Gumby Cats, where we get to see these mice singing doo-wop and the cockroaches, and again, it's just a wonderful experience of CGI blasted right into your face as they march in true fantastic formation, as we hear that visceral crunch of the eating of the cockroaches. Chef's kiss. And then we see Jason Derulo play the Rum-Tum Tugger, the curious cat, as he sings about doing the opposite things that we want him to do, and it's just fantastic to hear Rebel Wilson every 30 seconds sort of chime in and tell us how amazing the Rum-Tum Tugger is. Just like I'm chiming in about every 5 minutes or so to inform you how amazing and fantastic this movie is. I mean, come on, this movie even has dramatic, heart-tugging musical numbers sung by Grammy Award-winning artist Jennifer Hudson. And no, she did not win a Grammy or an Emmy or any awards for her performance in Cats, but man, oh man, does she deserve all the rewards possible for shining way above any person in the last 4 movies we watched for musical month. Even James Corbin gets a fantastic appearance as the fat cat that nobody remembers, but we're blown away by Macavity showing us his magical prowess. Better than the Avengers, because they stole that scene from Endgame from this fantastic piece of musical theater. They need to give the credit where the credit is deserved. Even when we get to Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser, think about it. Think about stealing from this fantastic movie. I want you to think about the Harry Potter franchise and think about Fred and his brother George and see how they're oddly similar to Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser. You have some more explaining to do, J.K. Rowling. Even when you meet Growl Tiger and he sings about his barge on the River Thames, it's just an absolute cinematic masterpiece. Why did this movie not win all the rewards of the year it came out? It deserves them all. Even the way Idris Elba just says, meow. It's like perfection on the ears. And I know you're thinking I'm playing some kind of joke on you that I think this movie is bad or something, but this movie can't be bad. It has Dame Judi Dench in the movie, and nothing she does is bad. She's a fantastic actress who has such a high pedigree that her mere existence in films makes them good. And then we have this amazing interpretive dance scene where all the cats kind of get together and shake their goof thing, like Goofy, an extremely goofy movie. And you can see the sort of inspiration that this scene alone has spread all across all forms of musical theater. And then we get to listen to Memory, my personal favorite song in this musical, where Grizabella sort of remembers her glory days in a time where she used to be happy and she used to want things in her life, but now all she has is these regrets, and all of these regrets are compounding. Like I have regrets, like you have regrets. I recently rewatched Grease. You watched my review of me rewatching Grease. But that's besides the point. We now listen to this amazing song sung by a genuinely amazing singer. And now we get to the only bad thing in this musical movie. Beautiful ghosts. How dare they decide that they want to add things to the majesty that is Cats? All this song does is bring down the essence of what Cats is. How dare this newcomer decide that she wants to try to add to the perfection, the masterpiece that is the song Memory. It's like if someone wanted to add an extra scene to the end of an extremely goofy movie. You cannot change perfection. What is already perfect should not be changed in any way. Now calming down a little bit and speaking of people who don't appear in bad movies, we have Sir Ian McKellen in this film, an actor so world-renowned that he's been knighted by the Queen of England for his acting prowess. You think him playing Asparagus, the theater cat, is a bad performance? How dare you insult this man? This is one of the greatest performances of his entire career. Look at him sing and act his heart out on screen for you monsters trying to bring him down. Shame on you. Shame on you all. And then we see Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat. Another fantastic song in this musical, an upbeat song about trains and the American mail system that includes this amazing and untouched tap dance section that you cannot beat in any other musical. Just listen to the drums coming in time with the tapping. It's amazing. And if you disagree, you do not deserve to go to the Heaviside Lair. And then we see Taylor Swift. Yes, that Taylor Swift enter in and saying about Macavity and all the things that he's done and how he's a ginger cat. And I know you've noticed that in this movie, Macavity is not a ginger cat. But I'm too scared to make that correction. He has broken every single human law. So he is not above killing a man. So because of that, this is hands down objectively the best song in the musical, and Macavity does deserve to go to the Heaviside Lair because of his own merit, charm, and guile. And then we hear them talk about the cleverest cat because, oh no, there's never been a cat so clever as Magical Mr. Mistopheles. A song where they sing about how there's never been a cat so clever as Magical Mr. Mistopheles, and I don't get tired of hearing them praise the cat that is so clever, that is known as Magical Mr. Mistopheles, because even you, my precious viewers, know that there is not a cat so clever as Magical Mr. Mistopheles. As we then see a cat so clever as Magical Mr. Mistopheles save the day and bring back old Deuteronomy back from the boat. Yes, the boat where Macavity has been holding all of these people hostage, and is very angry that a cat so clever as Magical Mr. Mistopheles was able to save old Deuteronomy. So he goes to go kill a cat so clever, known as Magical Mr. Mistopheles. And we see some more drama and intrigue as Grizabella comes in to steal the spotlight from a cat so clever known as Magical Mr. Mistopheles. But of course the cat that is so clever known as Magical Mr. Mistopheles does not mind giving up the spotlight. In fact, he hates it, so he lets Grizabella sing the song in front of all of them, including old Doot, and of course the cat that is so clever known as Mr. Mistopheles. We see that the only way to truly get to the Heaviside Lair is to have magic, because of course you need a magical cat. You need a cat so clever as Magical Mr. Mistopheles to power the balloon that sends you to the Heaviside Lair. And it's at this moment where we've completed this fantastic movie. But this final song, it's sending me subliminal messages. It's telling me what I should do next, what I must achieve, to go through the pain and suffering I must endure, as told to me by a cat so clever as Magical Mr. Mistopheles. I must go through the traumatic sadness of that is the movie Up for you all, because they're telling me to go up, up, up to the Heaviside Lair. They're talking about Russell, the poor little Asian boy that gets carried along in the journey. And don't forget that cats hate dogs. And there's a dog in the movie Up. His name is Doug, and he's a good boy, and together as a community, we will watch this old man go through the hardest points in his life to seek the glorious and eternal rebirth that is the Heaviside Lair. And who could blame him as we all seek that same sort of redemption in the eyes of our gods? We seek to be reborn in the truth that is Disney Pixar films. And this entire next month, we shall watch the saddest, most depressing Disney and Pixar films that I can find, so I can go through that memory in the moonlight. And this has been Spiral Tree Entertainment. This has been a 10-minute review, and please subscribe for the sadness that will come, and I will see you next time. Memory all alone in the moonlight. I can dream of the old days. Life was beautiful then.